The night was cold and silent as she stepped off a small boat onto the dark shores of France. Her name was Laya Hassan. To her family, a gentle musician. To the world, almost invisible. But to the Allies, she was the most daring spy they had ever sent behind enemy lines. Born in Paris to Indian parents, a writer and a singer, Laya grew up with stories of courage, but she never imagined she'd live one. When the Nazis marched into Paris, everything changed. She escaped to London, determined to fight not with guns but with her mind, her courage, and her voice. The British saw her potential, nonchalante, calm, clever, invisible. They trained her in codes, survival, and disguise. They gave her a new name, Claire Dumont, and sent her back into the heart of danger. In Lyon, at a small bakery, an old family friend handed her a loaf of bread. Hidden inside, a note. Safe house ready, beware of the gray coat, trust only Marie. Laya began sending secret messages at night. Troop movements, supply routes, German weaknesses, tapping them into her hidden radio. Every word risked her life. One evening, a man in a gray coat knocked on her door. Gestapo. With a steady smile and a soft voice, Laya fooled him, barely. That night, she fled to Marseille, blending into the shadows. Marseille was a city of secrets, fishermen, smugglers, resistance fighters. There she met Marie, a young seamstress who stitched hope into every coat she made. Together they built a web of disinformation, confusing, delaying, weakening the Nazi grip. Then came the most critical order: prepare for D-Day. Laya sent false messages, misled patrols, disrupted supply lines, but the Gestapo was closing in fast. One final message to London: they know. I must vanish. She destroyed her radio, burned her codes, and disappeared, once again changing her name, her face, her story. Now she was Elise, a baker's niece from Brittany. No radio, no maps, just her memory and her will. In a lonely village, sheltered by a grieving widow, she rested and plotted her next move. When she finally made contact with London again, the message was clear: eliminate the traitor. No risks allowed. But Laya chose a different path. Meeting the wounded informant Henri in an abandoned theater, she learned he had turned and wanted to make things right. Suddenly, a German officer burst in. A shot echoed through the empty hall. Henri took the bullet meant for her, giving Laya the chance to escape. 3 nights later, under a moonless sky, a British plane lowered a rope ladder. Laya climbed, looking back one last time at the city that had shaped her, then vanished into the clouds. In London, they gave her a black medal in silence. No ceremony, no thanks. Only a quiet room and peace. Years later, Laya never spoke of what she had done. Not to neighbors, not to friends, not even to her children, but hidden in an old drawer, wrapped in letters and dust, lay that black medal and a faded photograph of a young man with kind eyes. His name was Henri. And the woman who fooled Hitler never needed history books to remember the price of freedom.